Liz Cross and I were just talking about Eric. Texas seceded from the Union. We had our own beer, the National Beer of Texas Lone Star. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here for part 2 of the Mind Probe of Pope Francis. And Liz Cross, her information is in the description box and will be on the screen as well. Eric, hopefully you've stuck around to help us, and hopefully Pope Francis has not gone running for the hills after the first part. You still here?
Yeah, he's he's still here. That's so funny.
All right. And you might, Liz, you might have to probe the Vatican for this as well. What's the biggest secret the Vatican holds? It could be Eric or the Vatican itself, or Pope Francis that answers this.
What's the biggest secret that the Vatican holds? That the download given to whoever thought of building the Vatican was actually came from an extraterrestrial source.
Wow. How about
That's what the Vatican just told me.
The Vatican told you. What about Pope Francis? Do you know of any secrets?
Do you know of any secrets within the Vatican? Lots of debauchery.
Okay. Before, historically?
Historically. Yes, throughout the ages. It was even a knocking shop at one time.
What?
Yeah, it was even at one time there was prostitution going way back, running out of the Vatican. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Pope Francis, what are your personal feelings about the sexual abuse cover-ups and your role and life experience in this? I'm sure you weren't happy with it, right? Of course not.
What are your feelings about the sexual abuse cover-up? He thinks it's disgusting.
Okay.
He understands the history behind it.
Yeah.
Not trying to give Catholicism a bad name. And also, there was lots of rumors going around. You don't want to just react to a rumor or
maybe
to
false. Yeah.
Right. So that is something that has plagued Catholicism for centuries. It's the rumor mill. So everything has to be investigated. But were they investigated? No. But he's saying to me now they do have investigative teams that react immediately whenever there's some sort of allegation coming forward.
Is that because of you?
Is that because of you? No, his predecessor.
Okay. Will you change the celibacy rules and LGBTQIA plus inclusivity in the church?
Will he change them? Will you change the celibacy rules?
Not you, when? Yeah.
He says, no, it's not up to me to change it. That's up to God to give that information for it to be changed. What about the LGBTQ community and how they're seen? In his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, he just said to me, well, we turn a blind eye to it, but if it is brought to the attention, then obviously they have to follow the teachings of whatever it is that they go by. Will you ever change that? He's tried to change that. He's tried to change LGBT, but it was shot down big time.
All right. Will you allow the church to be more gender balanced and not so patriarchal? And can you see allowing women to become priests in the future?
Will you allow the church to become more female oriented, or do you welcome females in? I feel like he does welcome females. But do you think that, would you allow it? Would you, basically change things around and bring more females in? He says, I think that's probably necessary. Look, what's coming in very strongly is the popularity of Catholicism is waning. Yeah. It no longer is the stronghold that it once was. It is not really, certainly throughout most parts of the world, it has no political sway anymore. Is what he's telling me, his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Don't start writing hate comments in the
We're gonna ignore him anyway.
Well, I'm used to it because mind probes are very controversial, but he's saying to me, they certainly don't have the power that they once had where they could go to a particular government, make recommendations, the government would immediately do it. It's not like that anymore. And I'm saying, but do you think that's because you need to be more inclusive? Maybe your values are seen as a bit old fashioned. He says, possibly, Liz. Yes. I mean, it is a possibility, but I don't feel that he is the one to make that change. I feel that his ideas have been shot down so many times that he no longer tries to make any more recommendations.
Who the hell's in charge then? If you're not,
who's in
who's
charge?
shooting you down?
If you're not, there's a panel. So I feel like it has to go and be approved by a panel.
Wow. All right. Will you allow people with HIV to use condoms rather than saying it's a sin to use a condom? I didn't know that was a Catholic thing, that a condom. Yeah.
No condoms. Will you allow people with HIV to use condoms? Again, he's saying that goes against the teachings of the church. They should completely abstain from all sexual activity.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Or just have sex with HIV others. Okay. Will the church help? Was the church helping to cover up the missing Vatican girl, Emanuela Orlandi? I didn't know that was a thing.
Was the church helping to cover up the missing Vatican girl? What was her name again? Sorry.
Emanuela Orlandi.
I don't know if they know what's happened to this girl.
Well, can you mind? Is she on the other side or is she here?
Are you on this side? She's in spirit.
Oh, what happened to her, Eric? Or Emanuela? Whoever wants to answer that.
What happened? What happened to you? She ran off with the man.
And how'd she die?
How did you die? She died in a tragic accident. Okay. I feel that her family, what she's telling me, were these very strict people, right?
Yeah.
And she was so she couldn't take it anymore.
Oh.
And she befriended a man, or she sort of knew somebody. Somehow it was like an escape plan. And they moved. They went, was this in Italy? No, they went somewhere else in the world. But something happened to her where she died in a tragic accident. I mean, they were kind of living off grid. They were living.
Who was the guy? Was he a priest? Was he a worker at the Vatican? Who was he?
Priest at the Vatican? Was he a worker? No. It was a married man.
Outside of the Vatican.
Outside of the Vatican? No, within the Vatican.
Okay.
How was he within the Vatican? How was he?
Maybe security, part of the Vatican police?
Was he security or part of the Vatican police? No, I feel like he was sort of unpaid. I don't feel he was a paid person, but I do feel he was in that area. And she just wanted to be rescued.
Okay.
She couldn't take it anymore.
All right, here's a good question. Pope Francis, we interviewed Jesus through Jamie Butler many years ago, and he said he did not die on the cross. He said he learned how to lower his respiratory rate, pulse, all that by the Yetic monks, I think. And so they thought he was dead. So they took him away, but they spirited him away. And he ended up in France, raised a family with Mary and all that stuff. Now, And he says that's the truth. And then historians are uncovering evidence of Jesus's continued existence in the south of France. Does every pope know that Jesus lived on and has relatives that are alive today? Or, well, what do you believe? Do you believe?
Let's see what he says.
Yeah, what do
Do
you
you
think?
believe Jesus lived on? No, he believes that Jesus died on the cross. So different
Wrong.
psychics, different mediums get different information. I have a totally different theory to that, but everybody gets information differently.
Historians, I mean, they have relics, they have all sorts of evidence. But anyway, that's okay.
But
I know he lived on, and Jesus knows he lived on. So,
the Pope is saying, what do you think about all these, these other theories? Because there's been lots of theories about that. So what do you think about, I saw Jesus shopping in the grocery store last week. I mean, what do you think about these sort of theories?
gosh, I can't imagine.
He doesn't believe it. I'm like, but have you
I
been
don't
told
believe that either. Okay.
have you been told these things before? He goes, oh, yes, yes. We
I
often,
can imagine.
yeah.
All right, I got to rush through these last questions. Is it true that the Vatican is hiding or storing any important or significant items or documents that may be detrimental to the Catholic Church? Big or small? Just a yes or no. Oh, for example, they did not include Yeshua's travels between the age of I believe, 13 to 32 years of age, between those ages. If I'm correct, speaking of travels, why didn't the church include those travels between 13 and 32?
Why did the church? Do you have documentation of Jesus from when he was younger? Really? Do you have a lot of documentation? They have a lot of theories. Do you have any concrete evidence? Not really. They don't really have anything concrete. And do you have anything documenting the travels between the ages of 13 and 32? It's just really the oral history of, I saw this, I saw that. But I don't feel that there's a lot of concrete proof there.
All right. But are there any other significant items or documents that are in storage, hiding, that could be detrimental to the Catholic Church, even if it's tiny or big?
Are there any other significant documents or evidence that you're hiding that could be detrimental? Oh, there's lots of stuff that's detrimental, like a lot of organized criminal gangs operating under the disguise of Catholicism. That's been going on for years and years and years. Are they still doing it now? No, he doesn't believe they're still doing it now, but certainly there's such a rich, vast history there of people using the Vatican, using religion as a disguise.
Okay. Okay. I had to look up something. I don't know what this is. I'm still researching. All right. Regarding the Catholic Church, what is your greatest fear?
What is your greatest fear? That we are no longer required. We are not important. We are nothing. We have no persuasion at all in the world. He believes that, according to his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, that he is a force of good in this world and that they are shining light to all the darkness in this world. So his biggest fear is like being stamped out.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. All right. What is your personal opinion about Opus Dei? That's what I did not know. It's an organization that started in 1928 by another pope. Can you tell us if Pope John Paul II supported it as a business opportunity or as a church growth opportunity? So what's your opinion, and why did Pope John Paul II support it? Was it business or church growth or both?
Do you believe, what is your personal opinion of Opus Dei? He believes it's quite helpful. He believes it's a way to break away. I don't even know what this thing is.
I don't know. I kind of read, but I don't understand.
it's a way to break away from such strict sort of regimes. And this, I believe, is quite more, he's saying it offers more flexibility. It's almost like a spin-off. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. But I'd have to do some deep dive. I'm not going to do that. All right, the text of the third secret of Fatima was officially released by Pope John Paul II in 2000. Some claim that it was not the entire secret revealed by Lucia, despite repeated assertions from the Vatican to the contrary. Is that true?
Do you believe that the third secret of Fatima is the accurate? No, I don't. He's telling me no. He's saying that information, they don't have a lot of documentation to support that. I don't even know what it is.
I don't either, but look, some claim that it was not the entire secret revealed by Lucia. Is that the case? Even though the Vatican said, yes, that's the whole secret.
Is it the entire secret? No, it's only a very small portion.
Okay. Now I got some holy water from Lourdes that I use in my scalar field. Is that helpful? I put it on my scalar machines and me and my lips and my dowsing rods, a little bit on the crystals.
That she uses on the.
Can't hurt.
So, do you believe that it's helpful? He believes in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. It's exceptionally helpful.
What about you, Eric?
What about you?
Laura Hayden said for me to do it.
Erik says it's the intention behind whatever it is you're doing.
Okay. All right. 2 more questions. How do you feel about the right-wing drift and the rebellion of those clergy toward the papal authority?
What do you think?
Like Europe is going right now. Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know.
Authority. What do you think? Well, they're trying to, what he's saying to me, his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions are, they're going to have to make some adjustments in order to keep up with the masses, as it were, which is interesting to me. Is like, why is Europe going right and that the UK is going left? I don't know. I need to probe into that. Why is it that Europe is right, UK is going left? That's such a mismatch of what's going on over there. But he's saying we're trying to be flexible. We have to now understand that we have to work around and within these, extremes is what he just said. I'm saying, but do you believe that the right sort of movement in Europe is extreme? He goes, well, certainly from what it was at one time, they always have to bend and sway. And I said, but you say you bend and sway, but then when it comes to like LGBTQ and sexual protection and things like that, you don't actually bend and sway. He goes, well, we try to appear as if we do.
Well, maybe it's because the panel doesn't allow him to bend and sway.
Is it because the panel doesn't allow? Exactly.
I wonder if he tries his best. I really do. I think he does. Who was your favorite pope?
Who was your favorite pope? This is going way back. He likes the teachings of someone in, is it the 1200s? He's saying like around the 1200s. I don't know who that would be, but I can't pronounce what he's saying to me, but around 1205.
Okay.
That was his pope.
Oh, awesome. Last question. Do you see Catholicism and religion overall lasting the test of time within the 4th and 5th density? And how will history look upon the Catholic Church?
I'm sorry, repeat that question for me.
Well, let's do 2 parts. Do you see Catholicism and religion lasting the test of time as we ascend to the 4th and 5th densities?
Do you see Catholicism lasting through the test of time? No. As we're going towards a higher state of consciousness? No, he realizes that he needs to evolve with the consciousness, right?
Yeah.
It's just that he's very limited in what he can do, is what he's saying.
Okay. All right. So the last part of that question, how will history look back upon the Catholic Church, like 50 years, 20, 100 years from now?
How do you think history will look back upon the Catholic Church like 100 years from now? He says they'll probably see it as a ridiculous outfit.
Oh. Oh, Pope Innocent III was Pope from 1198 to 1216. Was that your man?
Yes, that's his favorite Pope. That was the Pope he looked up to. Is it Innocent? I couldn't make out what he was saying to me. Is it Innocent the Third? Yes, it was most influential Pope, he says. I don't know anything about that Pope. What did they do?
Well, this first attempt was preparing the Great Crusade of the Holy Land. First attempt was the Fourth Crusade. So I don't know if I like him. All right. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Pope Francis. Thank you, Eric, for your expertise. Thank you, Vatican, for allowing the anal probe on your mind. And I love you all. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, and check out Liz Cross. Her YouTube channel, Psychic Liz Cross, is amazing. Lots of mind probe. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor. Bye.
Bye.